All right, two special cases. Here's special case one. Let's say we take a look at this problem, and we have I have to think of one. First case. Let's say I have 5 times x plus 1 equals 5x plus 5. Okay? So there's your first problem. So I'm going to split it down the middle. I'm going to follow my rules. Can I simplify this side? Sure, I can use the distributive property and distribute a 5 here, so I'll go ahead and do that. 5 times x, 5x. 5 times 1 plus 5. And I'll bring down this stuff. Can I simplify this? No, I can't. So I'm just going to copy it down. Now look at this. This is kind of weird. The left side and the right side are the exact same thing. But if we keep going and we follow our rules of algebra, and my next step is to get all the variables on one side, and so I'm going to do that. So what do you want to get rid of? The 5x or the 5x? Well, it doesn't really matter. They're both the same. So I'm going to get rid of this 5x. How do you get rid of a 5x? I subtract 5x. You can see if I got rid of that one, I'd be doing the same thing. So if I subtract 5x here, I have to subtract 5x here. Okay. And now you have 5x minus 5x, and you know that goes to 0, so I'm not going to write anything down. I'm just going to copy down this 5. 5 plus nothing is 5. Bring down your equal sign. 5x minus 5x also goes away, and 5 plus nothing is 5. So this is weird. The variables disappeared. They're gone. And that means something. So then you look at this thing, and you say to yourself, is this true? Does 5 equal 5? And you say, yes, this is true. And that means that x can be anything we want. X is not one number. X is every number. It doesn't matter what number I put in here, as long as I put in the same number on both sides, it's going to be true. So we say x is all real numbers. And I always told my algebra students there's a crazy way to write that. You can say x equals, and then you do a capital R, but you put 2 lines in the top of it. And this is the symbol for all real numbers. And don't worry about the fact that I'm talking about real numbers, because there are things called imaginary numbers, which are fake numbers, and that's a whole nother explanation. And if you want to hear it someday, I'll tell it to you. All right, here's the second case. Let's do this. X plus 2 times 5 equals 5 plus 5x. Okay, so we'll do the same thing. Split it down the middle and see if we can simplify either side. Can I simplify this side? You haven't seen this one before from me, but it's no big deal. It's just kind of the distributive property backwards, if you want to think of it like the postman's coming to the back door instead of the front door. So we're going to distribute that 5. 5 times x is 5x, and 5 times 2 is 10. Bring down this side. And a lot of times I like to, we can just leave those. We can leave them as they are. They are not like terms. I cannot add them together. That one has an x, this one doesn't. So I'm just going to copy them. 5 plus 5x. Sometimes I'll put the x in front. It doesn't really matter. Now I have variables on both sides, and you say, well, what do you want to get rid of? Well, I'll get rid of the 5x or the 5x. Well, I think I'll get rid of this 5x. Again, it doesn't matter. 5x and 5x. And you can see what's going to happen here. Get a 0 there. I get a 0 there. 10 plus nothing is 10. Equal sign. 5 plus nothing is 5. And now you look at this and say, no, not true. That means 10 10, and 5 are never equal to each other. So now we say x is no number. There's no number that I can put in here where this thing will balance. None of them work. Even though there's an infinite number of numbers, none of them will ever work. And you can see that kind of on this line. If I take 5 times 1 plus 10 and 5 times 1 plus 5, they'll never be the same. 5 times 100 plus 10, 5 times 100 plus 5, not going to be the same. Doesn't matter what you put in there, it'll never balance. X is no number, and the way we say that in math is no solution. There's no number that works. So up here we say all numbers work, here we say no numbers work. Okay, so if you ever have that situation where the variable disappears, just say, is that true? Then everything works. If that's false, nothing works.